the day before probably the best holiday there is on the calendar, and that will be Thanksgiving. So we hope that you're with some people that you enjoy being with, either today or tomorrow, the next day, or even the weekend, because it is a great time of year, a great time to get together with your people and, give thanks on what you got. So we appreciate you being here first and foremost. This will drop probably on Thanksgiving morning somewhere in that area. So we appreciate if you're checking us out on Thursday or Friday of Thanksgiving or the day after, we appreciate you greatly. And we thank you for watching. And if you're watching, you already know, go ahead and subscribe. It's easy. 5 seconds. Griff's shaking his head.
Absolutely.
Right? It's easy. 5 seconds on YouTube, 5 seconds on Spotify. If you want to throw a comment down, it may take 10 seconds.
At most.
But it's also short. Nice and sweet. Short and sweet. So we appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching and joining us. And, thanks for the interaction if you're commenting there with us too. You see, it's a little bit different setup. Griff and I are together. Dalton's not here. He had no corporate dinners, but he got a little family dinner with the wife and the wife's family. You know how that goes, right?
Yep.
You can't really get out of those. So we've got just me and Griff here. We're down in South Alabama, in God's country, some call it. And we're here to get you what you want. All right? So we're fired up. This is also making history. This is the first ever outdoor episode.
Very true.
Of Pad Level.
Very true.
So,
and it feels great out here.
And it does feel really good. You see, we've got our sweatshirts and our pullovers, right? So it is a little chilly, but when you layer up a little, feels good. Feels real good. So we're excited to be here. We're fired up on November 26th, right before Thanksgiving, to get you some college football news and talk about some games coming up tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday that you're probably really going to like. Now, here's the sad part about this week of football. No football on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 games yesterday, Maction. And then the Mac said, you know what? Let's not do Wednesday night this week. Why? You could have elongated the amount of days of straight football for about 4 more days.
Yep.
If you just have a game on Wednesday, tonight. But the streak stopped tonight. And that's saddening.
The biggest issue is they had 2 last night. You could have moved 1 to today. But
split them.
They don't pay us for that.
No, they don't. And maybe one day we'll have a say, but today we don't. So that's sad. But we're here. We're here, though. So, obviously you won't get this till Thursday, but we're here still talking about some college football. We got a super great week. Guess what week it is? It's rivalry week. A huge week. Maybe I've heard one of the biggest rivalry weeks in the history of the sport.
Lots going on.
A lot going on. A lot of ranked matchups. Mm-hmm. A lot of playoff contention matchups. A lot of conference championship game matchups. All right, so it's going to be a freaking awesome weekend. We're going to learn a lot from this weekend. All right, Griff. Tell us what's on your mind, man. Give the people something they want to hear.
Been looking forward to this weekend for a long time. I think one of the best parts about this rivalry weekend is you look through a lot of these games, and even if, one side of the rivalry is not in it, they have a chance to put their rival out of the playoff contention, conference championship contention. So that's sometimes just as good. When you've had a down season, you still got a chance to hang your hat on something. I look through a lot of these games, and that's what I see is some chances for both sides to really do some damage.
Yeah, and we're going to get into it, and we'll kind of give you some of those games where one team has got everything to lose, one team's got nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. And usually rivalry weekend, if that's the case, it's scary for the team who's got a lot to lose. Mm-hmm. Because they could be looking at maybe their best season ever, Ole Miss, mm-hmm. and you're playing somebody who would love to beat you and ruin it all. Because some of those teams may not, if they lose, may be out of the picture completely.
Yep.
So, And that's why we love to watch the sport of college football, because you just never know what happens. Now, you probably just heard a little bark or a bark or two. You might be hearing some panting going on around us. And just so you understand, that's totally normal. We're out here on the porch deck area. We got 3 wild dogs circling us, nonstop. And they are, playing, running, jumping, what wild dogs do. So if you hear that, everything's fine. It's just a couple wild dogs around us. Wild dogs meaning our pets.
Right.
They're running around and, slobbering and even maybe taking a dip in the pool at some point, which we don't really want that to happen. It's kind of late and a little bit chilly. So, but if you hear that, there's nothing wrong with that. So, we're going to jump into a couple stories first. A couple things here I want to at least we can talk about, and get some opinions on, because obviously that right now in football wise, rivalry week is the big deal. Okay, we're playing some big games. Rivalry week is what some fans look forward to all year. Then all the other games can go one way, but then rivalry weekend is the one weekend that they want to make sure they win, right? So that's all obviously important. The next thing is we've got a lot of things happening, as far as some things going into next year, some things that are finishing the season, things like that. And that's what we're going to get into. The first one. So there's been a lot of talks about, is the playoff going to expand? Is it going to stay at 12? Are they going to go to 16? What are they going to do for 2026, which would be next football season? And you've got one side who says either let's keep it the same or let's go to 16. Let's do one automatic qualifier for a conference. Everybody else is at large. You get the best 12 or 16 or 14, whatever. There's been so many numbers thrown out there. You got another side, and if you've been paying attention, you know which side this is. Expand it to like 24 or 28 teams and have 4 at-large not 4 at-large, 4 automatic bids for 2 conferences in particular. You know what I'm talking about. And then probably 2 automatic qualifiers for 2 other Power 4 conferences. You probably know what I'm talking about. And then I think 1 for Group of 5 and the rest are at large. So not as many at large. But if you expand the playoff to 24, you're going to have more at large. Here's the thing about that. The deadline was supposed to be December 1st, right? They have now pushed it back to after the national championship game. National championship game's like January 19th or 20th. I don't remember what day it is. The deadline is now January 23rd. So what that tells me is that they might be trying to expand this thing.
I think they're waiting to see how this plays out. I feel like they already pretty much have their mind made up, but they're just gonna wait and see how it plays out. I think that you can expand the college football playoff to 136 teams, and there's still going to be people that are upset. You're never going to have it to where there's just unanimous joy about all how this goes. Because if you expand it to where every team gets in, then you're still going to have people upset about seeding. So the arguments are never going to go away. I think they need to keep it at 12. I think that the automatic, 4 for the Big Ten, 4 for the SEC automatically get in. I think that's dumb because there could easily be a year where there are not 4 SEC teams or 4 Big Ten teams that are deserving. That are deserving of getting in.
Right.
And I think that people saying to expand the playoff to 16 or 24 and saying that's going to fix all the problems because like this year you have Texas who's 9-3, Michigan who's 8-3 right now, Michigan who is 9-2, so USC who's 8-3 could be 9-3. Those teams, now we're arguing about them. But if we move it to 16, we're going to be arguing about 17, 18, 19, 20. If we move it to 24, we'll just be arguing about 25, 26, 27, 28. It's the same thing with the NCAA basketball tournament. is they have it 68 teams now,
60, yeah.
and it was 64, and they moved it to 68 because that was going to solve all the problems. But now it's 69 through 72 that they're arguing about. So I think it's ridiculous. I think you just need to keep it at 12. And if you get to a point where, if ever a year happens where the 12 seed wins a national championship, then expand it. But until that happens, leave it be.
Yeah. I don't know as far as the expansion if I have I feel good about 12.
I do too.
I think 12's good. I mean, probably in all honesty, 4 was probably okay.
Yeah.
And then they moved it to 12.
I think
12
8 was 8. They should have gone to 8.
8 would have been good. I mean, I think 12 is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think a 16 would be okay. I mean, you start getting 24, 28, which I know 24 was brought up.
Mm-hmm.
24 is what the FCS does.
Yeah.
But they don't do a certain amount of automatic bids from each conference. They do every conference gets one. I think
and they also do 10 regular season games.
11. Well,
11.
Actually, some did 12
I'm
this year.
thinking D2. I'm thinking D2.
10, right.
D2's 10. But
now FCS
no conference
doesn't do
championship
conference
game.
championship games. That's
So,
right.
I mean,
that's right.
So what's going to happen is if you expand it to 24, they're going to either take away conference championship games or they're going to take away regular season games. Because if you end up making it from that first round, I guess you probably wouldn't play in the conference championship, but you might and lose it, and then you'd be in that first round playing. You're looking at, you make it all the way to the national championship. You're really going to play in 18, 19 games.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm
too much.
Yeah, exactly. If you keep adding games in the postseason, you got to take some one or so away in the regular season.
Yeah.
It just gets to be too many.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What NFL? They play 17 regular season. They could play 20 or 21 or something.
Yep.
But that's the NFL. That's the National Football League. Now, I mean, they're kind of trying to make this into the National Football League with the transfer portal being free agency and paying players. But it is worse just because
of the
there's no contract,
unlimited free agency.
Right. So anyway, yes, I mean that's very interesting to see. They pushed it back. I think they're just trying to expand it. Obviously, we'll see, but it's very interesting. Very interesting. So.
Yeah. I'll say this, though. Yeah. As a college football fan, the more college football games we can get, the better. I mean, as a fan, I'm all here for it, but as just somebody who enjoys the integrity of the sport, probably not the best. You're probably going to get a lot of matchups that are not, up to the level that you would expect a playoff matchup to be. But just as a fan watching games, the more the merrier. But
and the home playoff games are great.
Yes.
I mean, the home playoff games are elite.
Incredible.
They're fun to watch. So, there are pros and cons to both.
Right.
It's always going to be pros and cons to both. We just want to watch as much good football as possible. And as long as the playoff, you don't make it too big to where the regular season doesn't matter, which I don't know if that'll ever happen. But as long as that doesn't happen, I think whatever happens is fine. You know? I mean, as long as the regular season still matters to teams and coaches and players,
I think
it's probably going to be okay.
That was a talking point when they moved it to 12 is you're diminishing the regular season. But I think 12 to 16 is I think it's completely the opposite, where people are, you have 2 or 3 more games a season, 2 or 3 more games that are relevant to the postseason.
Yeah.
Now, if you move it to 24 or whatever, and you start to get to where it's half the season, you can lose 4 or 5 games. I think that diminishes it a little bit. But when you're looking at when you lose one game, as like in the BCS time or the 14 playoff, you lose one game, you're probably out. Depending on what game you lose, 2 games you're definitely out. So
exactly.
I think 12-16 is a sweet spot.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. But now something I will say, we're on the college football playoff. One thing that I do not like about the college football playoff is we got 12 teams, 4 rounds, right? 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay. What I do not like is the amount of space between each game.
Yes.
So think about this. You go conference championship week, which is not this weekend, but next weekend. First weekend of December, usually. And the Army-Navy game is that next weekend. All right? So then you go from there. You go conference championship game, skip a week for Army Navy, then you go first round of playoffs. And it's like 10 plus days until the next game. It's not just a week.
Yeah.
And I know, some people say, well, I want to make sure the teams are as healthy as possible. I just think you got to quit drawing it out, right? Everybody talks about the calendar, the coaches trying to make decisions, the calendar this, calendar that. Well, stop making it so spread out. Stop. Just make it 1 week at a time. The NFL does it. FCS does it. Why do you have to be so different, right? And yes, it's the best sport ever, anywhere. But why do we keep dragging it out more and more when you don't have to, right? The wait between games is what kills me. As a player, it killed me. As a coach, even now. Just make it week to week.
Yeah. I'll say my least favorite thing, and this has been not just the national championship game in general, is that they play it on a Monday.
Yeah.
I don't know. My understanding of the reasoning it was on Monday when it was BCS or 4-team playoff was because we can't interfere with the NFL schedule. That's the reason. Because the NFL starts to play on Saturday at that point. We can't take the time away from the NFL, and that's all fine and good. But then you move to the 12-team playoff, and the national championship is now about 10 days later than what. So say the national championship in the 4-team was January 10th on a Monday, but now that is a semifinal round. They play it on a Saturday around the same time, but then the national championship comes around and they play it on a Monday again. So it's like if January 10th was bad for you in the 4-team playoff, you being a Saturday, so you have to play it on Monday. Why can we play it on a Saturday now and then have to still have the national championship 10 days later on a Monday? Yeah. So put it on a Saturday. You get more views, you get more ratings.
Let's do Saturday. Everybody's got to go to work on Tuesday.
Right.
And the game is like it starts at 10 p.m.
Yes.
Not really, but it starts late. And I'm over on the East Coast, and it really starts late. So anyway, there's that. Next one. This will be a little bit shorter. NC State versus Virginia. We know that this year, that game was not a conference game. I told you, wild dogs. That game was not a conference game this year. And Virginia lost it, and they are now in the picture for a conference championship, even though they lost a non-conference conference game. Next year, these two great teams are going to go play each other in Brazil. And let me bet you one thing. I don't know this, but I bet it is not a conference game again.
Probably not.
I bet it's not. And I don't love the fact they're going to Brazil to go play it. And I don't love the fact that it's not a conference game. So it's just kind of a double whammy for me.
I hate it.
Don't like it.
I hate it. The not being a conference game thing, I can get over that. I'm so tired. NFL, too. I don't really watch the NFL that much. I'm so tired of watching these teams go to these other countries and play. None of those people over there care about it. They played that game in Ireland at the beginning of the year, and you see the interviews of the people in Ireland, and they have no clue what's going on. They don't care about it. Stop taking these games to these towns where it doesn't matter. Keep them in the United States. Keep playing them in these small towns with these colleges because it benefits them the most. So keep doing that. Stop moving these games. Brazil, they don't care. They don't care about college football. They don't care. So I'm sure it's a cool experience. Keep college football in the college towns.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just think he's trying to do too much. That's all. And especially a conference game, not a conference game. That's what makes me the most annoyed.
Yeah.
Next thing, the Big Sky Conference. This happened because they're in the playoffs in FCS. This happened a week or two ago, but Idaho was playing a team. Oh man, I cannot remember who it was. But the head coach for Idaho goes into post-game conference, or maybe it was during the week or something, and he mentioned something about some calls the officials made. That coach was fined. I think it's $2,500, but still fined. And you would think, wow, it must have been something egregious. Let me tell you what it was. Even Hank doesn't like it. All right? So they were playing at Sacramento State. This is Coach Thomas Ford Jr. I don't think that's the right call. And that the officials definitely missed one on that call. His players felt like something was taken away from us. That's all I've got.
That's it.
And we could not control it. And he got fined for that. You got anything?
I think it's
I'm
ridiculous.
about to freaking go crazy.
I know you will. I'll keep it short. I think that it is absolutely unbelievable that the referees can really turn these games on their head sometimes with some of these calls that they make, and the coaches who are the not the only victims of it. You know, you see coaches get fired. Sometimes referees make calls, and all it is an L in the win-loss column. So the coaches can't come out and defend it at all. They can't defend their players. They can't defend their program. They can't defend themselves without a penalty coming. But the referees, they get off scot-free. They don't have to answer for any of it. They just get and I know these jobs are tough. But I think that if the coaches and the players have to answer for stuff that they do on the field, I think the referees should have the same obligation. So that's all I got.
It's simple, man. The coaches get fired from it. The refs don't. We've seen this in FBS happen.
Mm-hmm.
Where the officials, you can tell they screwed something up. And the officials don't come out and say it. It's the conference officiating, the head home office or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They come out and they say they screwed this up.
Yep.
And nothing happens. Nothing happens. The only thing I've seen happen was the one crew who screwed Auburn twice. The head official or whatever is suspended.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's with or without pay, but he just can't officiate any more games.
Yeah.
The coaches get fired for it. Players will get hounded for it. And refs, we just say, well, the refs made a terrible call. We don't know who did it. Put the names on the back. Make them say something about it. Make them also go. It's crazy to me that when the game's over, the refs run out of the stadium like somebody's trying to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
They run out. What are you running from? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make them do a freaking press conference. Listen, every other job is held accountable for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But officials, maybe somebody gives them a little slap on the hand and says, "You missed that call."
Behind closed doors.
Right. And then publicly they'll just say, "Yes, the call was missed,"
and then they say no further comment.
And that's it.
I think.
But then if I'm a coach and I say, "Excuse me," I think they missed the call. They missed that one, and our players felt the same way. And there's nothing we can do about it. Mm-hmm. It's not on us. And then you get fined for saying that. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
I don't get it. I think that what a lot of it is they say we can't put the names of the referees out there. We can't have this information about them because of the things that people will say that people trying to contact them. And my thing is look at some of just take kickers for example, the most scrutinized players on the field. Take some of these kickers who miss these game-winning field goals and check their social media DMs and see if they're not. I'm not saying that any of that is right. I think it's very wrong. But if the 18 to 22, 24-year-olds have to endure all that stuff, I think that the referees should be obligated to answer for some of the things that they do. So,
I agree. Totally agree. It's just garbage.
Yes.
We protect officials way too much.
Way too much.
Not saying people shouldn't be protected, but they're getting protected way too much.
And now, on the other side of that coin, for example, the referee who called that touchdown on the field in the Indiana Penn State game on that last touchdown Indiana scored, we should celebrate that.
It's great.
Like I said, on the flip side,
he's all over.
There's great things that referees do. There are bad things that referees do. I think that, they should answer for all of it. I think they should be commended and celebrated when they do right, and I think that they should have to answer when they do wrong. So
100%. It's just that simple.
Because that also happens with coaches and players too. So
100%. All right. Real quickly, there was a story that came out on this past Saturday, and I didn't even bring it up on the Sunday show, and I don't know why I didn't. UAB in our home state.
Mm-hmm. In my town that I live in right now.
It probably happened in his neighborhood.
Hmm.
UAB player stabs 2 teammates prior to a football game that they were playing against North Texas, right? They played North Texas or South Florida? South Florida.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No. Maybe North Texas. I don't
yeah,
know. Go
they
ahead.
played somebody they lost. But a player on the team stabs 2 teammates before the game. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's, I don't know what else to say about that. Just,
I don't either.
What do you
Absolutely
do?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, what do you do? Right? What do you do?
I don't understand. I need to look into more the reasoning. I don't know if you've seen the reasoning for it.
No, I haven't seen the reason.
But just
I don't know if there's.
I don't think there's a good enough reasoning for
There's
that
not,
to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, there's not.
It's just absolutely
not.
ridiculous.
It's crazy. All right, last thing before we get into the playoff reaction. Brian Kelly, he's been in this saga with LSU trying to, was he fired for cause? Are they going to pay his buyout money? So obviously you hear a lot of things about Brian Kelly when he got fired, how crappy of a person he is, and he just, hadn't been great to some players. But LSU's basically been saying, we're not going to pay your buyout money because we fired you for cause. And they did not fire him for cause.
Mm-hmm.
But finally today it came out, LSU is in writing, they did not fire him with cause, which means that he gets the $54 million of buyout money that was on his contract, which I think is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think LSU finally realized, hey, we're going to run off our next coach if we just if we say, hey, we're not going to pay you this money when we fired you.
Yeah.
When your record was 34-14 in 4 seasons. 34-14, right? I'm not saying Brian Kelly was going to win a national championship or anything, but 34-14 in 4 years that's 3 losses a year roughly.
Yeah.
Less than 4 losses a year. Is it just what you want? No, but there are teams out there losing 8, 9, 10 games a year.
Yeah, there sure is.
So, good for Brian Kelly. He's done a lot of shady stuff, allegedly. I don't know it, but allegedly is what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
But good for him. He's getting paid, I guess.
Yeah. He's not getting paid for his character. I don't know what his character is. Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I think this speaks more to the LSU administration's character than it does,
for sure.
In a bad way. I'm wondering if LSU administration may be a little bit too little too late on this front, in this coaching search.
Yeah.
Doubling back and saying we're going to fire you. We haven't fired him. We're going to, try to do it for cause. Oh wait, now actually we're going to, fire him without cause and paying him his buyout. And this is hot on the heels of them coming out and offering or writing up a contract for Lane Kiffin for $90 million. So
yeah, what do you?
I feel bad for the LSU boosters. Is who I feel bad for.
Well, the thing is,
they're probably
their
the
ones
hand in
who
the pot,
are running this thing, and they're wanting to do this. So I don't really feel bad for anybody at LSU. I think it's just all. I'm glad that LSU said we're not fighting with calls because that's without calls, because that would be a straight up lie.
Yeah,
they fired him because of football. So anyway, that's good. All right, now let's get into the college football playoff reaction. Griff, I want you to go to what's your most intriguing part of the rankings to you from
it's
yesterday, from Tuesday, I should say.
One, Ole Miss moving back, or I guess Oregon moving up, whichever one, however you want to look at it. I think, I think it was a great win for Oregon. But I think that Oregon finally won a tough game, despite what Dan Lanning would have you believe. Also, it's just the Miami Notre Dame stuff. It's the same thing I've been talking about for 4 weeks now, or since they've been doing this. I don't have an issue with the top 4. I don't really have it. The Oregon Ole Miss thing it is what it is, but both of them still are in a driver's seat to have a home playoff game. So, that hopefully that stays the same if they both win this week. Um, I, just the Notre Dame Miami thing, it still bothers me. The BYU Utah Texas Tech thing is interesting. Utah being ahead of Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt's resume is much more complete than Utah's is. I think that was one more thing that I was about to say, and I can't remember what it was. Texas, they're up there close. They're up there close enough to that 12 mark that I'm wondering if they beat A&M this weekend, if they don't try to at least get them really close, like one of the first two teams out, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that this ACC thing is really going to be interesting because they've got Miami, as it looks right now in the bracket, they've got Miami at the 11th seed, the only ACC team in the bracket. And I think there's maybe a 5 or 10% chance that Miami makes it into the conference championship. So my question is, if Miami doesn't make it to the I don't know, they're going to have to move them out. I think it's going to be not good if they keep Notre Dame in and keep Miami out, and they put another ACC team in. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I think with the way it is this late in the season, the committee is not going to be able to get it right unless some teams lose that they need to lose. Unless like Miami loses, BYU loses, Utah loses, and then that makes some room for other teams. But
this is old Hanky right here. This is our parents' dog, Hank. Man, we just a dog-loving crew, aren't we, buddy? All right. Yeah, I'm with you. So listen, here are my things here. You talk about Miami, Notre Dame. They have jumped Miami up more than anybody else in the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And old Hunter Yurachek mentioned that. And first of all, let's talk about this guy. The first question that Reese Davis asked is about the 6 and 7 switch between Oregon and Ole Miss. And if you watched it, you know what he did. He did something that was super awful.
God, it was awful.
It was just embarrassing. So that I lost some respect for him right there in the beginning. Now, So you talk about Notre Dame, Miami. They've moved Miami up a bunch in the last few weeks. They're putting Miami in a position to where they can put them in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
They keep inching them closer to Notre Dame. The big thing is head-to-head. Or, no, excuse me. What people not in the committee are saying is head-to-head. The committee is going off straight eye test.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm telling you, they're going off of eye test. And you know what? I guess maybe they have been saying that the whole time without saying it. But I think that's just so dangerous. That's such a dangerous thing.
It's very subjective.
Yes, right? And so the problem with that is you come into the season and you make these 4 or 5 data points. Hey, we're going to look at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at the end of the day, you say, well, this team looks better than the other.
Yeah.
So we're going to throw them in.
That's exactly what it is.
And so it just makes it really tough because, if they're both the same record, Miami's beating you head-to-head, it probably doesn't matter if it's week 1 or week 14. It's got to matter. You got to put the team who won ahead. All right? Now, so there's the first thing. And I don't know what you do because the committee's already pretty much made their minds up. They're going to do it eye test way. And I think it's not very smart. The Ole Miss Oregon thing, this is the second time they dropped Ole Miss. The week Ole Miss played the Citadel 2 or 3 weeks ago. Texas Tech jumped them. Okay? 5 and 6. And then this week, Ole Miss is off. They have a bye week. And Oregon jumps Ole Miss. If I'm Ole Miss, I better not lose Saturday. Because if I'm Ole Miss, I'm seeing what the committee thinks about me as Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin and the boys. If I'm Ole Miss and I lose, I'm out. I'm thinking I'm out of the playoff. I'm 7. You saw what they did to Alabama, who lost to Oklahoma, who is now in the top 10. They're number 8. Alabama was number 4, lost to Oklahoma, who was ranked maybe 13 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama dropped from 4 to 10. If Ole Miss loses Mississippi State, who's not ranked, and they drop 6 spots, guess what? They're at 13. They're out of the picture. No way to get back in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next, Vanderbilt dominates Kentucky, 45 to 10. Not a great team, but have played some teams close. Texas, a team that they hold very high, the committee does for whatever reason, held Texas to 16 points and lost to them by 3 in overtime. Vanderbilt goes and dominates the piss out of them, and guess what? Vanderbilt doesn't move a muscle. Miami beats teams that are not very good. Who did play this past weekend? Virginia Tech. And scored a late touchdown, kind of just
Style points.
Yeah. So really won by 10, but won by 17. And Miami's jumping. They're jumping Miami up. Same record. Vanderbilt wins a big game, or wins big, stays put. Michigan, they bump Michigan up. They're trying to make it where if Michigan wins, beats Ohio State, they can put them in the playoff. Texas, I don't know why they keep keeping Texas so close. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I mean, do they show flashes that they're pretty good? Yeah. Are they consistently pretty good? No. Is anybody? I don't know. Only the top 2 or 3 teams are probably. Maybe 4. But I don't know why they keep keeping them up so high.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I don't get it. Pittsburgh has moved up to number 22. That would now give Miami a ranked win.
Mm-hmm.
And if Miami wins, they might jump BYU. They may jump them in there. I don't know. I've just seen them jump Miami. If they win, they're jumping Miami up every week. So I think they want Miami, and this is conspiracy theory. They want Miami in, or want them to be right there, where they can jump them in.
I think that they want Notre Dame in, and they know that they have to put Miami in. If Miami were to win this weekend, if they put Notre Dame in, you have to put Miami in. I think that's part of it. Because if you don't put Miami in, then there's no point in playing these tough out-of-conference games. Because if the head-to-head doesn't matter, then there's no point in playing these games. Let's just play
Good
3 FCS teams and then our conference games, and we'll see how we'll do. So
yeah. No, I mean I agree with you.
And I agree that Notre Dame has looked better than Miami since then.
Yeah.
I think that to keep the integrity of the sport, you have head-to-head has got to be the main thing. If you play and you have several key players missing, okay, that's understandable. But as far as I know, Notre Dame had their starting quarterback, had their starting running back, everybody, they had everybody. And they got beat. Now, granted, it was at Miami, but still, I think the head-to-head has got to matter.
It does.
There'll be no point in playing these games if it doesn't.
100%, and they will make it known. Now, the one thing that is also big, and before we move on, how are they? All right, Texas A&M wins, Alabama wins, or Alabama and Georgia win, and you've got those 2 teams, either Bama and Georgia, or Bama and Texas A&M in the SEC championship game. Alabama's ranked number 10. I don't think there's going to be enough movement for Alabama to move up going into the conference championship weekend. If Alabama wins their way into a conference championship game and then lose,
I think they got to be in. I don't.
Well, I think so too. But Miami will be sitting right there at the doorstep.
That's a good point.
And we know they want Miami in. It seems like it to me. It just seems like it to me.
Well, I think also another thing is you got BYU here.
I know that.
So if BYU makes it to the conference championship and they lose, and Alabama makes it and they lose, I think a 10-3 Alabama gets in over a 11-2 BYU. Whether you think that's right or not, I just don't see a world where
how about this?
The SEC or the Big Ten runner-up doesn't make the playoffs.
How about this? No, I'm with you. Alabama and BYU both lose in the conference championship game. Miami's sitting there; they're 10-2, and they just have the eye test. They have the eyes of the committee.
I guess it would go to 10.
Do they jump Alabama and BYU? I don't know if they do that.
Probably.
Last year they didn't do it. They kept SMU in when they lost to Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
This is a different year. I'm not saying that it will or won't happen, but golly, man, I just don't know. Now, conference championships. Ohio State, Indiana, if they win, they're in. If Ohio State wins, they're in. They're playing Indiana. If they lose to Michigan, who knows how far they're going to jump in the playoff, but I think that puts Michigan in the conference championship game.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's basically set in stone, almost. With Indiana's playing Purdue. I mean, they're going to tear them up. SEC, you got 4 teams that could possibly get in: Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss. Texas A&M wins and in. Alabama wins and in. Georgia has got to win and have Alabama lose to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss
or
has got
Texas A&M.
Or Texas A&M lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got to have one of those two. Ole Miss has to win and have, I guess it would be Texas A&M and Georgia lose, because Georgia's got the head-to-head on Ole Miss. Ole Miss got to have 2 teams lose. All right. The most likely way is Texas A&M and Alabama both win and get in.
Mm-hmm.
The most likely way. So you got those 4 teams there. I think it's probably going to just end up being Texas A&M, Alabama.
I think
depending on what happens this weekend.
Well, we'll see.
I know. We got an Auburn cat here. All right, now, Big 12, Texas Tech is in already in the championship.
Yes,
and then BYU, I think they're in too. I don't think they're already in. Maybe
yeah, because I think Utah is a team behind.
Utah's behind.
And if BYU lost, that would give them the same amount of losses, but BYU has.
So I think it's Texas Tech and BYU no matter what. So that's pretty much set in stone. The ACC, if Virginia wins, they're in the game. If SMU wins, they're in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Pitt may need to win and have SMU lose.
I think Pitt needs. Yeah, I think they need to win and have.
They got to have SMU lose to get in. Miami has got to have like 5 teams lose for them to get into the conference championship game. So that's probably not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the playoff was to keep putting Miami in there as the ACC champ. I know they do it just because they're highest ranked. It makes me upset every time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those are your deals. The American. So basically, if Tulane and North Texas win, they're in the conference championship game. If one of those teams lose and Navy beats Memphis, then Navy's in to play the other team who won. And obviously the winner of that's probably going to get in the playoff, whoever's ranked highest. Now, Sun Belt, James Madison is already in. Troy and Southern Miss are playing this weekend. The winner of that's going to play James Madison in the Sun Belt Conference. The reason I'm bringing up both of those is because both of those conferences have a chance to get in as a group of 5 team. Now, as we've talked about, Tulane is the only ranked group of 5 team here at 24. James Madison was ranked one week, and then they dropped him out.
Yeah.
Now, you've got Tulane. North Texas is not ranked. James Madison's not ranked.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of telling you all you need to know what the committee thinks. So,
yeah.
There's your deal. You got the MAC, Western Michigan punch their ticket to get into the conference championship game. There are a couple MAC games they got to get into. Conference USA, the Owls, Kennesaw State. All right. Jacksonville State plays Western Kentucky. Kennesaw State plays the Liberty Flames. Jacksonville State, let's see. If Jacksonville State wins, okay, basically Jacksonville State, Western Kentucky, whoever wins that game is in the championship game. If Kennesaw State wins, they're in the championship game. All right, so Kennesaw State just got to win and they'll get in. Jacksonville State and West Kentucky, they have to, one of those teams, whichever one wins, is in.
Yep.
All right, so that's what you're looking at in the Conference USA. There's really no chance of any of them getting into the playoff, but you got a few good teams there at the top of that conference. All right. I think I hit all the conferences here. I think I'm missing maybe one. Mountain West.
Yeah, Mountain West.
Mountain West. San Diego State, I think, is already in the game. They need to win their game to get in.
Yeah.
All right. And then so basically you've got a big tie at second place. Boise State, New Mexico, UNLV. Boise State's basically beating all those teams. If Boise State wins, they're in against San Diego State for a rematch. San Diego State beat them 17-7 a few weeks ago. and then you've got New Mexico and UNLV. If Boise State loses, it opens a door, right? New Mexico and UNLV play this weekend. They play this weekend. All right. If I'm not mistaken,
San Diego State.
San Diego State plays New Mexico.
UNLV.
All right. And UNLV plays Nevada.
Rivalry
so I was
week.
totally wrong. Rivalry. There you go. So anyway, Boise State wins. They're in the conference championship game. San Diego State, they're already in it, I believe. So anyway, so there are your conference championship pictures. And we're going to go through games that are going to talk through all those conferences here in just a few minutes. Now, we're going to get into a little bit of, first of all, Griff, your comment of the week. Who are you shouting out this week, Griff?
I got to shout out the man we were talking about last week. We finally figured
the mystery man.
This faceless commenter.
Yep.
And his name is Max Carter.
Carter.
Max, appreciate the comments. And my comment of the week is from Maximus Decimus Meridius. You get it?
Come on, Grip. What you got, man?
Ooh. Here we go.
There we go.
Max Carter says, happy I found a podcast that isn't a bunch of nerds talking about ball acting like they played. So, Max, we appreciate that. All right? That's what we need. That's the kind of intensity we need to come into the comment section with. We need to be calling people nerds. Anything PG. Call them whatever you want to.
Yeah, let's keep
it PG.
Yeah.
Nerds is a good one. That's always fun to listen to. So, but Max, appreciate it, man. And appreciate you letting us know that you are Max Carter indeed.
Yeah. Absolutely. We've got some great guard dogs here if you haven't figured that out. If there's any noise out there, they're getting them.
Absolutely.
All right, now, pull that back up if you don't mind. All right. Sorry, yeah, that's in a minute we'll do it. All right, now we're going to talk about this. The coaching carousel, the firings and the hirings that are going on right now. So I'm going to name you all the FBS jobs that are open. All right, so this is from most recent to least recent. Cal opened recently. Justin Wilcox was the coach. He got fired. Auburn, a few weeks ago. Hugh Freeze was their guy. LSU, Brian Kelly's out. We just talked about him earlier. He finally is going to get his buyout money. Florida fired Billy Napier on October 19th. Penn State fired James Franklin after a 104-45 record in 12 seasons.
Not good enough.
Okay. October 12th. Arkansas fired Sam Pittman September 28th. UCLA fired Deshaun Foster September 14th. He was only there for 2 seasons, or really a 1.5.
Yeah.
Stanford is a little different because they went in with an interim head coach for this season, and then they are going to look for actual head coach coming up this season. So after the season's over. So they're in the looks also. UConn, this is recent. UConn, their head coach is out, Jim Mora, because he took the Colorado State job today or last night. It just came out. So they've got, one game left. I don't know if he's going to coach that game or not. I haven't seen anything about that. I'm guessing he will.
Surely.
But they're not in the conference, so they don't have any kind of conference championship. They will have a bowl game. They're like 9-2 or something, right? So great job by him at UConn. The Colorado State thing kind of perplexes me. I don't know what would take him out to Colorado. I don't know if he's got ties there or what. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway.
I think it's a higher profile job, I guess.
Sure.
UConn.
Yep.
Just being
North Texas is now out of the coach because Eric Morris has accepted the job at Oklahoma State, but he has said that he's going to coach North Texas season all the way through the end. This week, obviously, conference championship maybe, playoff maybe. Now, I doubt if they just make a bowl game without the playoffs, I doubt he's going to stay for that. Mm-hmm. But he's moving on to Oklahoma State. Oregon State, yeah, I think so too. Oregon State fired Trent Bray after not even 2 full seasons. Yeah, not even 2 full seasons. Fired him on October 12th. UAB fired Trent Dilfer after 2 seasons. All right. And then, so like we talked about, Colorado State now has their coach. They fired Jay Norvell on October 19th. And now they've got their guy. Once the season's over, they'll have him. And Oklahoma State fired Mike Gundy, 21 seasons there. That's a long time.
It is a long time.
And they have now hired Eric Morris. And then you got also Virginia Tech fired Brent Pry early in the season in September. And then now they've hired James Franklin, which I think is also a pretty good hire too.
I think it's the best hire they could have made.
I think it's
honestly,
pretty good.
I think it exceeds a hire that I thought they might be able to make. So
I think it's solid. And he's already been around that area. He knows it.
yep.
All right. And then Kent State fired Kenny Burns in the back in the off season. And they brought Mark Carney was the interim, and they promoted him to the head coach on October 30th, so about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
So those are your deals there. Now, obviously, Lane Kiffin is going to coach every program in the country that is in the SEC and NFL that's open.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I think. I think Lane Kiffin's going to stay. I don't know him. Obviously, I have not talked to him. I think he should stay. I think he will stay. I think he's just playing the game, getting everybody else thinking.
Yeah.
He's got his boys locked in. They're going to go try to make a run. He's going to stay. Why would he go anywhere else?
I agree. I have no clue. I have no clue.
I don't either.
I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily see him going to any of these, like Florida, LSU, or State and Ole Miss. I could easily see him going to any of those places. I have no idea. I haven't told you this yet because it's merely just rumblings.
Oh.
So I work with a guy who is on a lot of these, or he follows the message boards a lot. You know, these fans and message boards and everything.
Yep.
And I had been seeing some stuff just like on Twitter, X, about Kalen DeBoer and Penn State pursuing Kalen DeBoer. I've been seeing that stuff. And this guy that I work with, he sent me this screenshot of one of the message boards. I don't remember who's, maybe Penn State's or somebody else's, or maybe it was on Alabama's. I don't know. Of just hearing some talk, and apparently this guy is in a little bit of the know. Like he's fairly credible, I guess. I don't know this. Okay. This is all hearsay.
Okay.
Of a potential DeBoer to Penn State and Lane Kiffin to Alabama.
Wow.
And I saw that, and I said, there's no way.
I don't think so either.
But, I mean, I think that if the Alabama job came open, I think Lane Kiffin would absolutely take that one over any other job. Now, do I think that that's a real possibility? Not really. I won't say no. I won't say 0% chance just because there's not a 0% chance of anything. I would give it about a 0.5% chance. So I just thought that was interesting that I saw, and I thought I wanted to bring it up just to see what your thoughts were.
I don't foresee that happening either. I mean, I also heard that Penn State, Kalen DeBoer, they're trying to look. I think that's kind of been squashed.
Yeah,
I don't know that, but I think the Penn State hiring has kind of gone not even close to as well as they wanted it to go.
No.
So, anyway, I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not.
Now, I think Alabama, like you said, is probably a job that Lane Kiffin would take in the future if that were to come open for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Now, I also heard that Alex Golich might be setting up to take the Arkansas job.
Which I think would be a great hire.
I saw that on X also. You can never believe it, but I looked at the source. It seemed like it was fairly credible, but I'm not going to say it because I may sound like an idiot because it might be somebody fake. Because it's got me before. Anyway. Anything else on the coaching carousel? I mean, what are you thinking about all that stuff?
No, not really. I think this feels like the most coaching turnover that I feel like I've seen in a single season, especially high profile coaching turnover.
Yeah, it's a big one.
With Penn State, Auburn, LSU, Florida, Arkansas, Oklahoma State. I think it's a lot going on. I think it's going to be really interesting how this all shakes out. And I think it's only going to create, more, I guess, because, when you fire a coach and you hire a coach, now somebody else is looking for a coach. They hire one. They're looking, the next team.
Trickle down.
So good luck to all the families and out there that are about to have to make some big time moves. So
yeah, because it's a, like Griff said, trickle down. So I mean, the top teams are gonna have their movement and they're gonna hire somebody, maybe somebody a little lower, so they got to hire somebody, and so it just goes all the way down to all levels of football. So that's how it goes every year. But this one just seems like it's going to be even more a bigger year for coaching changes. Now, my comment of the week. All right, it just came in 4 hours ago. All right, this is from my man Nick Holton. He's now a 2-time commenter on the podcast, and we greatly appreciate you. We call him the Big Wave. The Big Wave. And so this is him responding to the last episode where it was just me. Solo Jake episodes should be audio only. Face for radio. # boom roasted.
I couldn't agree more. I think he hit the nail on the head there.
Wow. That's it hurts. It hurts, man. Wave. Come on, man. It hurts, dude. Anyway, we want people to comment, and I'm glad you did. Thanks, buddy. Keep them rolling. All right. Now, I got to give one more person a little shout out because he's commented a couple times. It's your boy, Chris Stacy. Give me Auburn alternate spread -13 plus 3,400 against the Tide. I don't know what that means. Alternate spread. What is that?
He's taking a.
He's changing.
He's taking Auburn as if they're favored by 13 points. Which they are not.
Stace,
you are not sure
Stacey,
they are not.
Come on, man. Points. I just don't know about that. Okay, plus 3,400. If he wins, though, he can make a lot of money, though. But I don't think. I think -13 is pretty. That means Auburn's going to win by 13, 14 at least. So that's tough. But I love it, man. Thanks for doing that because we love that. Okay. Now, quickly, Griff. Heisman. Give me your favorite. Just your favorite. Don't go into the weeds. Just give me your favorite.
Jeremiah Love.
Yes, that's a good one, man.
I know we talked about Notre Dame, but he had a great game last against Syracuse. I know that Syracuse is not great, but statistically terrific. I think we had 8 or 9 carries for 170, 180 yards. So
explosive.
Good on him. Yeah, he is really
so explosive. Good. He is just an explosive runner. He's very hard to tackle. I was hoping that Haynes King was gonna against Pitt was gonna make his way to the top, but he went the opposite.
He did.
Went the opposite. I think also Jeremiah Love is my favorite. He's not gonna win it, unfortunately, but he's my favorite.
So?
No, not with Fernando Mendoza, Marcel Reed, Ty Simpson if he has a good Auburn game and a good SEC championship game. A running back's got to do just absolute crazy statistics to win the Heisman. So
I think that I wanted to win because of the Heisman, the year of fives, running back winning every year, ending in 5. I just want to keep going.
I mean, I think he's got a shot. I just don't think he's going to win.
Yeah, I think he'll make it to New York. Win it, but
all right, Griff. Bet guy, give us some bets that we need to look into, maybe.
So I've got 4. I've got 4 here.
Listen, folks, you may win some money here. Not in Alabama, but somewhere.
Or you can fade this and you'll probably win money. Is actually what's going to happen.
Yeah, buddy.
So my first one, I've got Georgia playing in Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Benz, yeah.
-13.5 against Georgia Tech. I've watched Georgia. They're just too good. They're too good. Their defense is too good. After watching Georgia Tech last weekend, couldn't move the ball to start the game. Georgia's offense is as good, maybe better than Pitt's. Their defense is better than Pitt's. So if you can't score on Pitt's defense, He ain't scoring on Georgia. So give me Georgia minus 13.5 in Mercedes-Benz. Give me North Texas at home versus Temple, the Owls. Hootie hoot? No, sir. Minus 20.5. North Texas. They can score points. Temple, I do not think they'll be able to keep up. So let me get North Texas to finish this season out strong, give themselves a really good chance at the playoff, go to the conference championship week. Minus 20.5 for the Mean Green up in the north part of Texas, Denton, Texas, I think it is.
Denton, yes sir, it is.
And lastly, give me Oklahoma at home. The spread is minus 10.5. They're playing LSU. I would buy that to minus 9.5. Let's push some points here. Oklahoma Sooners to take care of the LSU Tigers. LSU cannot score on Western Kentucky's defense, and I'll bet everything I've got that Oklahoma's defense is better than Western Kentucky's. You can't score on Western Kentucky at home. You can't score on Oklahoma on the road. So give me Oklahoma minus 9.5. I think this one might be 10-0. And then here we go. Texas A&M in Austin. Friday night. Give me Texas on the money line. Give me Texas to win the game.
Man.
I know I've been kind of up and down on Texas all year. I've been up on A&M. Something about this one just makes me feel like Texas is going to pull it out. So give me Texas on the money line. That's all I got.
Yeah, so the first one I was going to talk about was Texas A&M is minus 2.5. I'm taking them in Austin.
Okay,
So I'm going the exact opposite way. I'm taking Texas A&M over Texas minus 2.5. You know what else? This is going to be a bold one. Ohio State minus 10.5.
Wow.
Over Michigan. It's been 4 years of hurt for the Buckeyes, and they're pissed. They're tired of it. They're favored by 10.5. This is the year they do it. They don't screw it up this year. They're going to do it.
Push any points or keep them there. Right.
What do you think, son?
Probably not.
Nope, we're not pushing points around here. We do it straight up. We're not doing any of this point pushing mess. All right. Then maybe the last one actually. Nope, I got one more. Vandy at Tennessee. Vandy at Tennessee. Plus 2.5 for Vandy. Vandy's going to go into Knoxville and go beat Tennessee. So I know I was going to say plus 2.5. I may just go money line Vandy. Vandy money line.
I like that.
To go win the football game. Give me Vandy to beat Tennessee in Knoxville. Both teams are prone to some turnovers.
Yes.
But I think Tennessee's more prone.
I agree.
Give me Vandy money line over Tennessee. And that's the big one for me. And then one that's possible, Troy at Southern Miss. It's in Hattiesburg. Troy is plus 6.5. Give me Troy plus 6.5.
Let's go, baby. Fight on.
Give me Troy plus 6.5. Okay. All right. That's all I got for you. Now, that's great. That's good stuff. Now, I'm gonna tell you this before we get into the FBS games. You're thinking, wait a minute. You usually talk about D2, D3, and FCS first. Not on this one. In a day or two, I'm going to do a different episode that talks through the FCS, D2, and D3. All in one episode. That way we can give it enough time, the time that it deserves. Because we're in playoff mode, babe. Mm-hmm. We're in playoff mode. FCS, D2, D3. We might even get in the weeds a little bit on some of them. I know you want to do that. I've had my man John Henry White say, man, hey, we need to talk about some D2 and FCS matchups for sure. There's some big ones. I say, yeah, there are, and we're going to do it. Separate episodes so it gets its time to shine too. All right. And I know I've got some FCS, D2, and D3 lovers out there. And you're going to get it all here at Pad Level because we don't shy away from any level of football. You understand?
No, sir.
We don't. We don't do it. So we're going to go FBS tonight. We're going to go FCS, D2, and D3 in a night or two. Yeah, at some point. And I'll get it posted as before Saturday. I'll do it as freaking fast as I can. Mm-hmm. All right? Because we love college football here, all levels. All right, now.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
For all you people that come here for FCS, D2, and D3 exclusively, do not turn the episode off right now. Keep listening.
No, you need
get your FBS intake. It's good for the body.
You need
good for the soul.
You need to hear about this. This is a huge week.
Yes.
Every week's a huge week. This is a huge week of college football.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's jump into this. Had
Do
two
it.
games yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Maction. Should have done one tonight so we could have one going on. We could have it on that screen. You could be listening to us
could be
and
watching.
watching the game right there. That's a TV.
Mm-hmm.
You could be doing both.
That's exactly
Multitask.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But you can't. Actually, they'll be watching this tomorrow. So,
True.
but whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We got to start doing some live shows.
Start doing some.
We'll do that. We'll get to it. Just give us some time. Subscribe and follow. We'll start doing it. How about that? If you want it. We have Bowling Green at UMass. UMass is the worst team in the country. They're 0-12. They've been in FBS for 13 years, and they've won 24 games. Do the math on that, if you don't mind. In your head.
I'll save you some time. Less than 2 wins a season.
Yeah. It kind of stinks. So
Not
that's
good. Not good. Feel bad.
not good. All right, and then you had a Michigan rivalry. Western Michigan at Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan jumps out to a 7-0 lead, and Western Michigan scores about 35 points in a row.
Yep.
Or 31 or something like that. And it's a domination. Western Michigan punches their ticket to the MAC championship, as we mentioned before.
Good for
Now,
them. Go Broncos.
let's get to the game tomorrow night. The lone college football game, I believe,
Yep.
tomorrow night.
It is.
Thanksgiving night. Navy at Memphis. Navy's fighting for their lives to try to get into the AAC, American Athletic Conference, championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to go to Memphis. Memphis is not an easy out.
No.
Memphis is kind of, they were high, they were ranked a little bit. They've lost some games and they're kind of going backwards. Can Navy take advantage of it? At Memphis, I think Navy goes in, runs a triple option at them in the gun under center, and they go get the W. They go win the game outright versus Memphis because they are not favored. Memphis is favored by 4.5, I think.
Well, add that to my best bets. Give me Navy on the money line. I like Navy to go in and get it done too. The Navy has completely several games. South Florida, especially going to that game, I thought that was no shot, and they go and they exceeded my wildest expectations. So give me Navy to go in and keep their chances alive at Memphis. Keep this great season going.
Navy had a bye week last week too. They were off.
Give me Navy minus 4.5.
Play South Florida. They were off. Now they're playing Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're playing Memphis, hoping to go play in the AAC championship game and win it, get in the playoff, play Army, and then play in the first round of the playoffs. So
exactly. Jam-packed December.
Jam-packed December, possibly for the middies, for the midshipmen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. We're in G5. We're talking G5 here because it's still important, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's still very important. Air Force goes to Colorado State. Colorado State just named their new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Air Force is trying to finish the season strong. They haven't been great. Defense giving up a lot of points. They lost to UConn a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And they had lost last week as well. They're trying to end the season on a high note. They've got a chance to, because Colorado State hadn't been great either. They've probably been a little bit worse than Air Force. I'm taking Air Force to go to Colorado State. Both teams are in Colorado, mind you. Air Force is in Colorado. And obviously Colorado State is too. I'm taking Air Force to go win. Listen, I'm feeling it's military appreciation. It's a lot of that stuff going on around here. I'm taking Air Force to go beat the Colorado State Rams.
I'm also taking the Falcons over the Rams. I think it's going to be kind of an ugly game, but these teams not great. Yeah. But when you put two ugly teams against each other, it looks like a good game sometimes. So
sure.
Give me the Falcons. Salute to the Air Force.
Yep.
Over the Rams, go on the road and get a big win to finish this thing off.
No doubt. All right, now let me see. So we're gonna stay in the Mountain West.
Mm-hmm.
On a Friday night, we've got San Diego State going to New Mexico. San Diego State's in already, as far as I know. Because San Diego State's only lost to Hawaii. Hawaii's not in the picture for the conference championship game.
Correct.
And when I say in, I mean the conference championship game, not the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
San Diego State's got to win. New Mexico's got to win to give themselves a chance to get into the conference championship game. I think San Diego State's going to be too much, even though it's at New Mexico. I think San Diego State's too much for the New Mexico Lobos.
Yeah, I think so too. New Mexico kind of been playing with fire now. Granted, they've won the games.
Yeah.
But I think that the San Diego State team, outside of what they did do or didn't do against Hawaii. I think this is a pretty good San Diego State team. I like San Diego State to go in and get a win. I think it's going to be close, though. New Mexico likes to play them close. I think it will be close, but I do like San Diego State to get the win.
Yep. Mountain West again on Friday. We've got Boise State at Utah State. Boise State wins, and they're in the conference championship game.
Yep.
Utah State has been a tough team all season. Boise State's going on the road from Idaho to Utah. It's not super close to each other. Basically from the northern part of the country to the southern part. I think Utah State's got a real chance to go upset Boise State.
I think they do, too.
I think they got a real chance. And I think at home, you know what? I'm still picking Boise State.
Yeah.
I think I might take Utah State as far as what the spread is. What is it?
It's
3.5.
Yeah.
I think I might take that
I think that'd be a good
3.5
bet.
plus
I think that'd be a
3.5
good
for
bet.
Utah State. I think Boise State wins. A close one.
I think Boise State wins as well. I do think it's going to be close. Would not surprise me at all if Utah State won. Utah State can score some points, so I think Boise State's going to have their hands full, but I think they come out with a win. Close.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah, close, but I think Boise State wins it.
Mm-hmm.
And Utah State's going to give them all they want.
Yes, they will.
Utah State's in a bowl game and everything. It's got 6 wins. It'll be a close one. All right, we're going to move to Saturday now. We're in the Conference USA. Western Kentucky at Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State went to Florida International last weekend and lost. Western Kentucky's going to Jacksonville State. So now Jacksonville State, I think, plays better at home. Western Kentucky gave LSU all they wanted. Lost by 3, 13-10. I think Western Kentucky stops Jacksonville State's offense and wins and gets them to the conference championship game.
I agree. I like Western Kentucky.
I got a couple boys on Jacksonville State. Adrian Gum, Reggie Jackson, a couple of linemen. But boys, I'm sorry, I got to take Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I will also take Western Kentucky. Offensively, was not very good last week against LSU. Only touchdown was
Bless you.
Defensive score. Give me Western Kentucky to go into Jacksonville, Alabama, home of the greatest barbecue place of all time, the Rocket.
Very good. The cockpit.
Yeah. Give me Western Kentucky.
Yeah, Western Kentucky. Close. Western Kentucky. Other Conference USA game, KSU at Liberty. Now, a lot of people don't look at this game, and I was at Kennesaw State last weekend. A lot of people don't look at Kennesaw State Liberty as a rivalry. It is.
It is.
When I was there, we were FCS. Liberty was in our conference. They left after my junior season to go FBS. The first 2 seasons we played them, we lost 2 close games, lost by 10 my freshman year. And then my sophomore year, I think we lost by 10 again. But it was close. It was really one possession. They scored late. We tried to go down and score whatever, and we couldn't. The third year, we go to Liberty. They got one of the best student sections. Got to be in a group of 5 easily. In FCS, they have one of the best ones in the country. We go and we beat them 42-28 in my junior year, and that kind of sent us on a big run, and we made the playoffs, all that good stuff. This is a rivalry game. There's some hatred there, at least from me. Now, I'm not going to be biased in picking this, right? I'm trying to be unbiased.
Yeah.
But I'm going Kennesaw State to beat Liberty in Lynchburg, Virginia. Who do you freaking have, dude?
Give me the Owls over the Flames, baby.
I think offense is too good. Now,
I agree.
Kennesaw State has got to be better in the middle of the game. Quit counting on early in the game and winning the game late. Let's play a full game here, dude. Please, defense, get after them like you do. Offense, really good in the beginning of the game. Just keep it going. Why do you stop, right? Keep rolling. Stay consistent. Kennesaw State wins.
Yeah.
Here we go. MAC, Toledo at Central Michigan. I believe if Toledo wins, they either get into or have a great chance to get into the MAC championship game. And Central Michigan is going to give them a little bit of a game. Central Michigan is also tied in that second place spot. So one of these teams is trying to win to give themselves a chance to get into that conversation
Right.
in the MAC championship game. Toledo at Central Michigan. Listen, Central Michigan's head coach, Matt Drinkall, was at Army. Was an O-line guy at Army, I believe, for multiple years. But I got to go Toledo. Toledo wins again.
Yeah.
Maybe special teams will be big in this game. How about that? Special teams wins the game for Toledo.
I like that. Yeah, I like Toledo as well. The few times that I've watched them, their offense looks virtually unstoppable.
They're usually
which
pretty
I
solid.
feel like it always is.
They're usually pretty good.
So give me Toledo to go into Central Michigan. Not sure what city that is, town that is, but give me Toledo to win this one and give themselves a shot at the conference championship.
You know what? I just looked. I used to pick Central Michigan. Central Michigan wins. Matt Drinkall, you're going to get it done, and hopefully you get into the conference championship game.
Wow, how about a switch?
I'm switching
guys?
it. I'm doing the old not so fast, my friend. Central Michigan.
Are you doing the other thing?
Not for that one.
Okay.
Maybe later. All right, Troy at Southern Miss. We talked about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Troy plus 6.5. I may take Troy money line to go win the football game and go get into the conference championship game to play James Madison to possibly knock them out of the playoff, if there's even an option. But make it where they're not even going to be, and they know for a fact.
Yep.
Troy over Southern Miss
Give me
in Hattiesburg.
Give me Troy. That's my graduate school alma mater.
Yeah,
Got to stick with the boys.
biased.
Don't care.
What are you going to do?
Give me Troy to win this one.
Yep. Sunbelt, last G5. JMU at Coastal. Coastal, Max Carter's older brother, Trey Carter, a guy that I kind of groomed into a great young man who he is now, coaching as an analyst at Coastal Carolina, is hosting JMU, the possible Sunbelt champs, the possible playoff contender. I don't think they got enough. I think JMU's going to go in and win the game. Now, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be somewhat close.
Spread minus 21.5.
Give me Coastal plus 31.5.
Okay. I completely agree. I was going to say the exact same thing. James Madison, I think they got too much offensively. I think their defense is pretty good too.
Yeah, they are.
But I think Coastal can score some points. They've shown the ability to be able to do that. So give me James Madison, but I do like Coastal to keep this within 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, me too. Let's go P4. Let's get into some of these rivalry games that you love to talk about, that everybody loves to talk about. Georgia Tech. SEC, ACC. It's in Mercedes-Benz. What did you say the spread was? Minus 13.5? Georgia at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's defense has been very bad lately. Haynes King has been very good until last week. I don't think Georgia Tech. I got way too much trust and confidence in Georgia. If we had a trust meter, my trust meter on Georgia is about a 9.83. Give me Georgia to beat Georgia Tech, and I probably will say they're going to win by 14 or more.
Yeah. You already know what I picked. That was one of my best bets is Georgia minus 13.5. And on the Haynes King deal, that was one of the things that I said a few weeks ago was I thought that this game might be a New York City Heisman, one of the 5-chair play-in game possibly for Haynes King and Gunnar Stockton, because both of them were kind of on a crash course to be doing that the way they were playing.
Yeah.
I think Gunnar Stockton still kind of is.
Yeah.
But I think last week Haynes King took himself off the map.
Yeah,
so I think this is more for Gunnar Stockton than it is Haynes King. So unfortunately, that prediction did not come to fruition, I don't think. But give me Georgia minus 13.5 to take care of business.
Yep, biz. Yep, I agree. Let's stay in ACC. We got a few games in ACC to talk about. Miami at Pitt. It's in Pittsburgh, and I believe the temperature at kickoff is going to be in like 31 or 32.
Yep.
That's below freezing in Fahrenheit if you didn't know that, which is pretty cold.
For our listeners in England.
Right. Yeah, because we have
Europe,
those.
whatever.
Because we have those. And Miami's usually pretty hot. It's out of South Florida, close to the equator. So I think I'm still picking Miami to win, but man, I think it's got a chance to be very close. Pitt got some help from Georgia Tech last week, and that helped them win. But they also played pretty well on offense, especially early. Late in the game, he didn't close it out, But Georgia Tech helped them out a little bit. I think Miami wins. Pitt keeps it close. and I think the playoff committee jolts Miami, tries to jolt them into the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Whether right or wrong, I think they do it.
You know, I thought that I had my mind made up on this game for the last few weeks. I've been talking about Miami, Notre Dame, and the playoff conversation. Miami and Notre Dame have the same record. I think they're both going to win out. Both be 10-2. You have to put Miami in. Not so fast.
Ooh.
Give me Pittsburgh to start this game fast. With it being lower temperatures, they're a little bit more used to it. I think that Pitt jumps out to a fast start.
Yep.
I think that Miami is unable to catch up. I think Pitt's defense is good enough to hold Miami's run game. I think Pitt has a fairly good run defense. So give me Pitt to start fast and kind of maintain a lead. I don't think it's going to be a big win. I think it's going to be a win of no more than 10. I think 10 is really stretching, but give me Pitt to jump out to maybe a 14-0, 14-3, 17-7 type lead and just kind of maintain it throughout the game.
I think if Pitt's defense can put some pressure on Carson Beck, he's shown that he's not been great when there's some pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they can really make it tough on Carson Beck and kind of help put the game away if they can do
and
it.
Another thing is Pittsburgh is one of the top teams in the country as far as getting interceptions, and Carson Beck is liable to throw some.
Yeah.
Especially with it being cold out there, the ball, you're not.
Yep.
The grip is not as good. Maybe some errant throws by Carson Beck and some interceptions for the Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah,
to
I
keep
think it's
them on
certainly
track.
possible. I think it's certainly possible. Close game.
Yes.
Now a couple quick ones here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest at Duke. Duke is still got a chance to get in the championship game.
They do.
They got to win and have a lot of teams lose.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing Wake Forest. Can they win? At least give themselves a chance. They've got it at home. It's in Durham. Wake Forest is going to go about 45, 30 minutes down the road to go play at Durham. I think Duke wins. I think Wake Forest keeps it close, but Duke wins. They probably got too much for them.
I think they're the exact same.
Yeah.
I think Duke wins, but I think it is close. Wake Forest has really surprised me this season.
You know what? Jake Dickert and the boys
Robbie Ash
have gone down there, and they're doing some good stuff. So I think Wake Forest keeps it close, but I think Duke ends up winning it. But I think it's going to help take Wake Forest into a good spot.
Yep.
Going next season. What's their overall?
8-3 right now.
Wake Forest 8-3.
8-3.
I didn't know they had that many wins. I was like
And
6
that's
or
I was
7.
looking at it, I didn't realize it either.
So they're in bowl game. But they're in bowl game. I mean,
they're looking for New Year time.
Getting
bowl,
close to it. Yeah, late December,
maybe possibly 9-3.
for sure.
So.
Yeah, so that's great for them. I think this helps catapult them into next season. But I think Duke's got too much.
Yeah.
All right, quickly, Virginia Tech and Virginia. Can Virginia win and get an ACC championship game?
If this game were at Virginia Tech, I would say I might honestly pick Virginia Tech just with James Franklin being the new head coach, kind of a new excitement within the program in Blacksburg. You got Enter Sandman, but with it being at Virginia, I think Virginia is going to kind of flip that on its head, and I think they're going to win this game. I don't think Virginia Tech is going to have enough.
I think Virginia's got to be so careful in this game.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I look at this Virginia Tech game, and I have for a few years now. You never know what's going to happen.
No.
There was a few years ago when Virginia they were not this record, but their record was like 8-3 or 9-2 or something. And maybe they were somewhat in contention for the ACC, but not really. But they were trying to make it like a New Year's Bowl or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Virginia Tech, I think it was at Virginia, and Virginia Tech came in and beat them. I think, I have no confidence in picking this game.
Yeah.
I'm picking Virginia, but I've got no confidence in it. I think Virginia Tech has a great chance to win the game, even on the road, and really make Virginia uncomfortable trying to get into an ACC championship that they probably haven't been in for years and years, if ever.
Yeah.
I don't know the stats on that. I don't feel confident on that game at all. I'm picking Virginia, but I think Virginia Tech has a grand opportunity to really make it tough on Virginia and end their season how they do not want to end it.
This is kind of one of the things we were talking about at the beginning,
Yeah.
these rivalry games that normally haven't meant a ton.
Yep.
I mean, they always mean something. But like Virginia Tech's
But
got
just
a
on the
chance
national
to keep
stage, you
their biggest
Right.
rival out of the playoffs. Virginia has a chance to beat their rival to
Right.
to stay in that
Oh, yeah.
that conversation. So
Yeah.
awesome to see.
Yeah. It'll be a fun one to watch for sure.
Mhm.
Now you got SMU at Cal. Cal just lost to Stanford last weekend, and their head coach got fired after the game, Justin Wilcox. SMU is hot right now.
Yeah.
They beat the piss out of Louisville, which I think Louisville's
They
kind of
hammered
going downhill.
Yeah, I think so.
So SMU's got to go, not cross country because SMU's in Texas, obviously. They got to go over to Cal, Northern California, to play Cal. I think SMU wins the game kind of convincingly.
I think so too.
I think SMU's just playing way too good. And if they win, I think they're in a championship game.
I think so.
So they just got to win, and they're giving themselves a straightaway chance to get into the playoff. That's all it is. It's a playoff game for them, and I think they're going to be ready to play. Rhett Lashley, Connor Morgan's going to have them ready to play.
SEMO.
And SMU wins. I think it's going to be big.
Yeah, I love the way SMU's playing right now, and I think Cal is just kind of
Kevin Jennings is playing great right now.
Yeah, I think Cal, with the firing of Justin Wilcox, I think one game left in the regular season. I think they might be. I'm not going to say they're going to quit, but I think it's about as close to that as you might could say. But SMU is playing extremely well right now, and they've got a lot to play for. Conference championship, potential playoff berth again for the second year in a row. I like SMU again. I like them big. I don't know what the spread on this game is, but
I would take it, whatever it is, because it's not going to be anything
13 and
crazy.
a half.
Well, I'd still take it.
Yeah,
I'd still take it.
I like that.
All right, we're going to jump into the Big 12 real quick, and we got 2 games in the Big 12. Obviously, you got Texas Tech. They play like West Virginia. I think they're going to hammer them.
They're favored by
You got BYU is going to UCF. I think they're going to get after them. Or sorry, it's at BYU. So we're not going to talk about those. We're going to go into Arizona at Arizona State. Both teams have now jumped into the rankings. Arizona is 25. Arizona State jumped from 25 to 20 after beating Colorado. A close game. The Colorado game was close. Second half, middle, late third quarter, they pull away. Arizona State does. This is an interesting game. It's at Arizona State. It's in Tempe, right?
Yes.
In Tempe. I think Arizona's going to win the game. I think Arizona's hot right now. I think Arizona goes into Tempe and beats Arizona State and ends their season kind of sourly.
Yeah.
I think Arizona's favored by 1.5, so it's basically a pick 'em.
They are. I like Arizona as well. I don't think Sam Levitt's. I think he's out for the season, isn't he? I think he is.
Maybe, yeah.
If he's not, there's a lot of rumors that he's already said he's not coming back next year.
Right, yeah. I've seen
Kenny
those.
Dillingham possibly on his way out to another job,
That is
potentially.
also true, yeah.
I like Arizona to go in and win. I think it's gonna be really close. I think Arizona State's still a really tough team.
It's gonna be close.
But I do like Arizona, and it's at night, so that gives
Friday
Arizona
night.
a little bit more ammunition. But I do like Arizona to win this one in a very, very
What time is that?
slim margin.
8 p.m. Okay, good.
8 o'clock Central.
It's a great game.
So-
It's going to be a fun game on Friday. Another game on Friday. All right, so we just saw Utah play Kansas State and almost lose. Now Utah's got to go to Kansas. And Utah's trying to win to put themselves in a position to maybe be at large. I mean, they're probably outside looking in, but they got to win to be in that spot. Kansas has been like this. They've been a freaking absolute roller coaster and usually doing this most of the time. Kansas got to win to get into a bowl game. They're 5-6.
Yeah.
They're in desperation mode. I thought coming into the season, Kansas was going to be one of the top Big 12 teams, and I was totally wrong. I think Utah takes care of business, whether it's dominating or come back and win like they did Kansas State. I just don't think Kansas can do it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Utah. I think it's 10.5 right now. I think they cover that, but I think it looks kind of ugly slow. It's an 11 a.m. kick. I think Utah kind of comes out, which Kansas, I think that's still Central Time.
I think
Maybe.
it is too. So,
Either way, I think that Utah comes out kind of slow, but I just don't think Kansas has enough to hold them off for very long.
yeah.
This game might be 7-3 at the end of the first quarter or something like that, and then Utah takes flight from there, and they win this game by 14 to 20, 21, something like that. So.
Yeah. So, Big Ten now. 2 games. You probably know which ones. Ohio State at Michigan. I've already said my piece on this. Ohio State covers 10.5. They cover and they win. They get the monkey off the back from Michigan. This is the year they do it. Julian Sands is going to complete 80% of his passes. I don't know if Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate are going to play, though. They're kind of in injury dilemma. I don't know.
So they had their I don't know what they call it in the NBA. Their load management game last week where they got to take a day off. So they should be back.
Yeah. So, I'm taking Ohio State minus 10.5.
With the Texas-Florida deal, Tennessee-Florida, last weekend. Tennessee hadn't beaten Florida at Florida in a long time.
23 years.
And I took the side of Tennessee's going to get it done. They got to get it done. At some point, this is going to be the year. Ohio State.
Guess who didn't?
Dalton. Good job. Same thing with Michigan, Ohio State. Ohio State has not beat Michigan in 4 years. Mm-hmm. This is going on year 5.
It's 4 years. It's
got to happen at some point. And I said it last year and the year before. There's no way that Michigan wins. They just don't have the team. But I'm going with Ohio State again. I think this Ohio State team is too complete. I think Michigan is a good team. I just think they've kind of skated through with some a little more lenient play. So give me Ohio State. Give me Ohio State to cover the spread, I think. Yeah. Give me to cover the spread.
These dogs are crazy. They're crazy. All right. Now, one more in the Big Ten. Oregon at Washington. So this is a pretty good rivalry. It used to be a Pac-12 rivalry. Now it's a Big Ten because the world's insane. Mm-hmm. But Oregon's going to Washington. Washington's been roller coaster. Up, down, up, down. Played Ohio State somewhat close early in the season, but I think Washington's a different team now. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily in a great way. Not saying they're just terrible now, but they're not like they just left that game and just hit an absolute, an ascension. I think I'm going with Oregon, but I think it's going to be close. It might be a little uncomfortable for Oregon for a little bit.
Yeah,
they're on the road at Washington. In Seattle, it's probably going to be. It's always raining there, apparently. Mm-hmm. I think Oregon, it rains a pretty good amount, too. But still, it's going to be probably pretty chilly, probably a little bit wet. And I think Oregon wins, but it gets a little uncomfy for the young Oregon team, but they win.
Yeah. I think that Oregon is going to win as well. I agree. I think it's going to be slow. I think it's going to be slow the whole game. Washington's got a great run defense. That's what Oregon likes to do is run the ball. They did it very effectively against USC last week. However, I think that Oregon is just too talented. I think they will be able to run the ball well enough to open up some of this passing game that they've got. Mm-hmm. I don't think Washington will be able to maintain on the offensive side or the defensive side. Yeah. So give me Oregon, but I do think it's gonna be close. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
within 10 probably.
Yep, I got you. Now, one game before we get into the SEC in the Pac-2, the part 2 of the championship game. Mm-hmm. Oregon State at Washington State. Washington State lost to Oregon State in the first part.
The first installment.
Washington State could make it a tie for the split if they win. Oregon State can give themselves their 3rd win of the year and keep Washington State from being bowl eligible if they beat them in Pullman, Washington. I think there's no way they're going to do it again. Washington State is favored by 13.5. I don't know if I would take that, but I think Washington State's going to win. I think it's going to be closer than 2 touchdowns.
I like Washington State. I don't know how they got beat the first time. But
Oregon
Washington
State's
State
not
has been
good.
playing some good football.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they've lost a few in a row, or they've lost a few of those close games. Ole Miss close game, Virginia close game, played James Madison close last week. But give me Washington State to take care of business at home. I think that they cover the 13.5. I just don't trust this Oregon State team at all.
I don't either.
So give me Wazoo, the Cougs.
Also, I'm ready for them to have a conference schedule again.
Mhm.
I mean, it's going to happen this coming up season. Now, it's going to look different than it's looked in the past, obviously, but I'm ready for them to do that. So that'll be great. All right, SEC, the moment we've all been waiting for. Friday, we got 2 Friday night games that are going to be huge. The
Massive.
Egg Bowl, Ole Miss at Mississippi State. Ole Miss has got a lot of stuff going on with Lane Kiffin. He's supposed to be making a decision after the game's over.
Mhm.
Mississippi State's trying to end their season with the cowbell ringing. I'll be honest with you, I'm taking Ole Miss to cover.
Think so? Yeah,
I'm taking Ole Miss to cover
7.5.
this one. 7.5.
Yeah,
yes.
I like Ole Miss. I don't like them to cover. I don't think Mississippi State's playing for bowl eligibility. I think Mississippi State's offense will be able to score some points. I like this to be kind of a higher scoring game. So the over under 62.5. I'm kind of leaning towards the over. I think it's going to be a point frenzy. And
I could see
honestly, I would not be surprised if Mississippi State squeaked this one out. But I'm going to take Ole Miss. I think it's going to be close, though. This rivalry is it's very underrated. So
yeah, I mean, there's some hatred there for sure.
mm-hmm.
As long as an Ole Miss player doesn't pee in the end zone
True.
like a dog,
That is very true.
they probably got a better chance to win than if they do.
Mm-hmm.
So just if you're listening to that Ole Miss players, don't do that. All right, another one Friday night. Texas A&M at Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the spread's
1.5.
small, right? I mean, it's a pick 'em basically. I'm picking Texas A&M to cover. I mean, I think Texas A&M is going to go into Austin and win by 10 points.
Okay. I could easily see that happening. I just playing at Texas, and Texas has been playing better, at least offensively, as of late. I think that Texas has a real shot to go in there and win this game. And I think they do, and I think it is razor thin. I think, like I said, with the Old Dominion Georgia Southern game last week that did not even get close to happening, I think that this game might come down to Texas kicking a game-winning field goal at the end of it.
Wow. Listen, Texas, when they play good defenses, has not been good offensively.
Fair.
And that's what keeps me saying Texas A&M wins by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Because Texas A&M has shown they can play against, now their SEC wins have not been very good as far as they played the bottoms in the bottom 8, all the other games they played. And so this will be the only game that's not a bottom 8 SEC team.
Mm-hmm.
But Texas A&M played Notre Dame, scored 41 points, right? Or whatever, 43 or what, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Texas A&M is going to be able to score. Texas defense is good, but Texas offense has not been good against good defenses, and Texas A&M's got a pretty good defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I go Texas A&M by 10. All right. 2 Friday games, huge Friday games, fun Friday games. Saturday, got playoff contention implications. There we go. LSU at Oklahoma. Does LSU have any shot to knock Oklahoma off and keep them out of the playoff? Because if they lose, they're out.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma's defense is playing so good, so opportunistic right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think just for that reason. And LSU has no offense at all.
Yeah.
You have no offense. 10.5. I think you take Oklahoma minus 10.5.
Yeah. I like Oklahoma.
But now Oklahoma's offense is not just a world beater right now either.
And LSU's
but their
defense
will score points.
Right. Let me tell you this. The over-under is 36.5. Give me the under.
I don't think that's a terrible idea.
I think that LSU's offense is not very good. They scored 13 points against Western Kentucky. Whatever.
Yep.
I think that Oklahoma's defense is going to absolutely put a plastic bag over LSU's head, and suffocate them the entire game. I think LSU might squeak out just like Missouri did. They might get 6. And I think LSU's defense is good enough to hold Oklahoma to minimal points as well. I think it's going to be like a 13-3, 16-3 kind of game. Give me the under 36.5. Goodness gracious alive. Yeah. Give me Oklahoma and an ugly game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really might be because offenses, like you said, can't do much.
Mm-hmm.
But defenses are
both
pretty good.
Both offenses are bad.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 2 more. Vandy at Tennessee. I've already told you what I think there. Vandy plus 2.5. Well, now it's 3.5 on
so even better
on this. Vandy plus 3.5 going into Knoxville and getting it done. I think Tennessee turns the ball over too much. I love Joe Aguilar, but I think he's going to turn the ball over too much. Now, Vanderbilt's defense scares me. But I think Vanderbilt's going to be able to score enough, and Diego Pavia is going to make enough plays, and they're going to beat Tennessee and keep themselves in contention for the playoff. Don't know if they'll put them in, but that'll give them a pretty good ranked win.
Yeah.
And that will be that'll help them. I think Vandy wins.
I think
Give
Vandy
me
wins.
plus 3.5 on Vandy.
Yeah, I like that a lot, and I think I like the over 65.5. I think it's gonna be a lot of points. I don't think Tennessee's defense is as good as it has been in recent years. I don't think Vanderbilt's defense is gonna be able to hold Tennessee down for the entire game. Give me some fireworks in this one. Give me a good old Vanderbilt Tennessee firework.
65.5.
And maybe it doesn't get quite that high, but I do like both teams to get
I think it might.
at least 20, 24, 27.
I want to take the over. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put money on it, but I would love to see it go over because that would just be. This seems like very Vandy Tennessee-ish this year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last game, last one, buddy. They call it the Iron Bowl. It's pretty big in the state we're in right now. Alabama at Auburn. It's in Auburn. It's 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, prime time game on ABC. Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler are going to be calling it. Josh Pate's going to be there. Alabama's got to win the game to stay in the playoff picture. They got to win the game to stay in the SEC championship picture. Auburn's got the keys to all that in their hands right now. It ain't in Alabama's hands. It's in Auburn's hands right now because it's in Jordan-Hare, where some crazy things have happened, good and bad for both Auburn and Alabama. Alabama's favored by what? 10.5? No, sorry, 5.5. It's 5.5.
6.5.
6.5 now. Alabama minus 6.5. Now Auburn scored more points now in the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alabama's defense is pretty freaking stout.
Yeah.
Auburn's is pretty stout, but I trust Alabama's offense more than Auburn's. I got to go Alabama minus 6.5. Not saying it's going to be like a 21-point win, but I think it's going to be a touchdown, maybe 2, between 7 and 14.
I think that I think this game is going to be very close. I think both defenses are very good. I am picking Auburn, and I'll tell you why I'm picking Auburn. I think that Alabama's lack of run game is going to rear its ugly head yet again. I think Auburn's offense has stepped up a lot and will be able to score points because they have shown the ability in the last couple of games to be able to do both run and pass. Now, Alabama's defense is stouter than Vanderbilt's, and they're definitely stouter than Mercer's.
Mercer, number 6 seed in FCS playoffs, just saying.
True.
Got to buy the playoffs.
I think that Auburn will be able to run the ball. I think that Auburn will be able to throw the ball. Cam Coleman has really played well the past 2 games. I think they'll try to feed him as much as possible. I think that'll open up Eric Singleton Jr., Malcolm Simmons. I think they have the weapons to open this game up and kind of have the entire playbook to work with. Let me tell you what I think is going to be the biggest thing in this game.
I'd love to hear it.
It is something that has happened in several Iron Bowls, and I think it comes to play again. Now, whether it leads to Auburn winning the game, I don't know.
Sure.
Field goal kicking. Alabama, Connor Talty has struggled the last few games making field goals. Alex McPherson is coming off 10 straight after that tough Missouri game where I think he missed 2 or 3. He's made 10 straight, including 2 last week. 2 last week. Both, I think, 40 plus, which is really good to see him do. I think that there's going to be several field goals. I think both defenses will be able to hold up in the red zone I guess their minus side of the 50 up for the defense and be able to hold up, force some field goals. And I trust Auburn in that department a little bit more than I trust Alabama. Give me Auburn. Give me really close. I think it's going to be within a touchdown. I don't think Auburn wins by more than a touchdown. But give me Auburn to pull this one off and break the curse. The curse is broken, people.
So you just bring up field goals. No, there's no really tie to field goals in the Iron Bowl, really.
Not really.
There's never been a game that's kind of decided on a field goal kick or return or anything like that.
No, not that I can remember.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it is what it is, man. Ryan Grubb, some of the plays he runs, like getting towards the red zone, some of these, I guess we would probably call them trick plays. Most people call them trick plays. I bet a lot of these plays are just kind of normal plays for them.
Oh, yeah.
Where there is maybe like a reverse or like a screen that kind of looks different. He's got a lot of those that he runs. And like you talk about red zone, maybe kicking field goals. I think Alabama might pull a lot of things out of the hat.
Very possible.
And because they understand in this game what it could be. And then you got to think about this too. If Ty Simpson has one of his good games, I think Auburn doesn't have a shot.
I agree.
If Auburn can put pressure on Ty Simpson, that's their shot.
Yeah.
Because the run game stuff, Auburn's run defense is pretty good, but it doesn't matter because Alabama's run offense, they don't do it. Right? So that's not really it's a strength for them, but in this game it doesn't really matter, honestly. For the most part. Alabama's pass offense, Auburn's got to be able to stop the pass. Can they do it? Can they hold up on the back end where Auburn can get pressure? Because Alabama's offensive line can be very soft at times. Or, I should say soft. Can get penetration at times. If you can get the running back on a blitzing linebacker, blitzing safety, you got a great shot because they've shown they're not always very good at blocking in those one-on-one scenarios with the blitzing linebacker. So that's the thing. If Auburn can get pressure on Ty Simpson, that's going to cause the turnovers, and that's going to give them a shot. If Alabama can, because Alabama's pass game has just been so freaking good, man. If Ty Simpson's got time, he's going to pick Auburn apart. If he's got time, he is going to pick Auburn apart. But if Auburn can make it tough on him, Alabama's going to be very uncomfortable towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's where Alabama don't want to be because if they lose, they're out of any playoff. Kellen DeBoer's back on the hot seat with the whole Alabama fan base because he didn't go win a national championship. So I think that's where it lies. Pass game for Alabama. Can Auburn stop it? Can Alabama do it? Whichever one wins that, I think is going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, I think that Auburn is going to. I have a feeling they're going to live by the blitz, die by the blitz mentality.
I think you at least got to try it at some point in the game, if not the whole time.
Yeah, I think that
you got to get Ty Simpson off schedule or something.
I think Alabama not being able to run the ball very effectively is going to allow Auburn's defensive front to really pin their ears.
Yeah.
And try to get after Ty Simpson. Now, whether they can, that is another question on its own. But I do like Auburn's defense to hold up. And I like Auburn in a close one. Yeah. I want to say I think the environment is going to be absolutely insane.
Oh, no doubt. The environment was the same when they played Mercer last week.
Yeah.
I mean, it was basically sold out. I mean, it's going to be insane. It's always insane, especially for the Iron Bowl. It's going to be a great atmosphere. If you're there, nice.
Congratulations.
Congrats. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. It's
going to be a great time, especially if your team wins. So that's our show. That's it.
That's all we got.
And so we just rolled through a bunch of stuff for you. We start off with some big-time stories. We went through the playoff. We talked about the coaching carousel, how it can go freaking nuts. Conference championship scenarios. Heisman. Maybe some bets that might make you a little bit of money. All right? Don't come at us if you don't, because we're not making you do it.
It's a 50% chance.
It's always a 50% chance. You never know. Don't forget, an extra episode. We might do this just the whole playoff season. FCS D2, D3 episode coming up in a day or two. Be on the lookout for that. That's going to be an awesome show. We might dive into the weeds. And then obviously we talked about Rivalry Week in FBS.
Yep.
A super fun week. A week that people look forward to all year. Let me tell you something. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving Day. All right, if you're listening on Thursday, today's Thanksgiving Day. I'm about to eat so much food, it's going to be probably sickening to some people if they saw it. But that's just how we do it on Thanksgiving Day. All right? I'm thankful for all the food that we're about to eat. I'm thankful for being with the family and folks I love. All right? And I hope you're doing the same. We're fired up. We're fired up for this weekend, for tomorrow, and also the rest of the weekend of games. So I hope you are too. I hope that you tune in to as many games as possible. Hope you tune into the FCS D2, D3 episode coming up here in a couple days. And then also, I hope that we have a great weekend of football. You got anything else, brother?
Yes. Favorite dish that you're waiting for this Thanksgiving?
Comment it. Let us know.
No, what is yours?
Oh, mine.
Yeah,
oh, mine.
yeah.
My favorite thing is I love casseroles, man. You know I love freaking casseroles. But probably Mom's mac and cheese.
Okay. It's good. I've got two.
Mm.
Squash dressing and
Great.
deviled eggs. That's
Great.
it.
Two great things.
When you listen in the comments, put the dish that, if you watch this after Thanksgiving, put the dish you enjoyed the most. If you're watching this before you eat Thanksgiving, maybe you're doing it on Friday or Saturday, put in there which one you're looking forward to the most. We'd love to know kind of the different opinions.
Might be a poll.
Could be a poll.
Go check out the poll on this episode. Immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Go check it out and go vote on it. Go just pick, right? That also costs you $0.
It's easy.
No money.
It takes less than 5 seconds.
And you get to put your input on something that, that you really like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, I may do 2 different polls. One about
Love
food, one about the rivalry games this weekend.
Love it.
Just go check them out. Just go check it out. Why not?
easy.
And then go tell your friends to check it out, and then subscribe for them. Follow for them. Rate for them.
Mm-hmm.
5-star, obviously, if that's what
Correct.
you want to rate. Thanks for being here. This has been awesome. You're witnessing history, like we said. First outdoor episode ever. Really the first episode that's been in Alabama, South Alabama, where we've both been here in the same place. First episode where we're both in the same place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're witnessing history. You're watching this.
This is history.
It's historical moment.
Your kids will read about this
They will.
when they're sophomores and juniors in high school.
And they will be completely astonished by how great it is. And I can't blame them because it is. So thank you so much for being here. And we are fired up about the games we're going to watch, about the food we're going to eat. Because guess what? I get to eat tomorrow, and I get to eat again Saturday. So I get a day in between, a little day rest, and I'm back at it on Saturday eating. But don't worry, and somewhere in there, there'll be an FCS D2, D3 episode, and I want you to tune in and let's freaking get right. All right?
I'm eating twice tomorrow, at lunch and at dinner. So
Eat as many times as you can this weekend of Thanksgiving food, because it just doesn't get any better, in my opinion. Best holiday on the calendar.
yeah.
All right? Thanks for being here. Interact with us. If you want to hit us up, we're easy to find. Just hit us up and freaking talk to us, man.
Mm.
Just talk to us. Have a great weekend. Be with some family. Be thankful that you're with family, right? That's what it's all about. Thanks for being here. Keep your freaking head up, your eyes up, and low pad level through this weekend as you have Thanksgiving food and a lot of football. Love you so much. Thanks. See you.
you.